Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, March 4th, and it's about 2:24 p.m. Eastern Time, and I just got into a trade. This is my sim account, still practicing for the Combine. About 4 minutes into the video, I explain why I got into this trade and show some charts. So let's just watch the trade unfold here. I wanted to just backtrack a bit and talk about why I got into this trade. And basically, I was kind of waiting for this, is this pullback to the 20. This is the 20, this dotted line on a 5-minute chart. And I waited through all this action. It finally got in the trade here. And this is about 1424, and then on the 5-minute chart you can see where 1424 is. Right about here was where we got in on this chart. And so it was a series of higher lows here. And then right after this bar was this big spurt in the market. And the other thing that is interesting is this is the daily 50% Fibonacci level on the 5-minute chart, and then on the 30 we have the 150% weekly level at 88.78. So these two levels have confluence. Here it's at 88.82, and here it's at 88.77, so within 5 points. And that's where I think the market is headed, is to the daily 50% and the weekly 150% of the range before the day is out. So it's just a matter of having patience in the auto trade, you know, and when to engage the auto trader, and then letting it do its thing here. I was going to just let it stick at 405 profit, but I figured with such a short amount to go, I thought it was going to go a little higher, and it did, and so we actually hit our goal for the day, which was 500. Okay, I just wanted to come back at the close of the market and look at what happened today. And what I thought would happen is that the NASDAQ did come to the weekly 150% level and beyond, headed towards the 200% extension of the range. And when I'm talking about this is the FibGrid. This is the weekly open, and so these zones above is this is the basically the 50% and the 100% and the 150% and the 200% Fibonacci extension of the daily range. So basically this is 50% of the not the daily range, the weekly range. This is the weekly FibGrid. So this is 50% of the weekly range. This is 100% of the weekly range, and then this would be the extension, 150% and 200%, or twice the average weekly range of the number of days that we're looking back on the chart, which is from the beginning of November, which is 4 months basically. So the market did come up to the, as I predicted earlier in the video, it came up to the 150, and then if we bring the 5-minute chart over here, we can see that it came up to the 50%, which is what I was calling for, and then it came up to the high of the value area from today, which is this gray line. So interesting that that was the high of the day, and then it sold off a bit here into the close. But the trade that we got into here, this is the range grid on the bottom, and so this is showing that today was 150% of the range, and also 150% of the weekly range, 150% of the daily range, and 150% of the weekly range over here. And so the trade on the chart was taken here, and then I re-entered because there was just a short distance to go, and it got out here, and then of course the market pulled back and then rallied again. On a 5-minute chart, it's interesting to note that the pullback looked like this. It's kind of magnified on a 150 Heikin-Ashi chart, but the pullback here on a 5-minute chart was just, you know, pretty normal looking. A pullback to the this is the 20 EMA, this dotted line. So if you take trades that are pullbacks to the 20 EMA, this is the 60 down here. A pretty good method. And then, of course, using the FibGrid as the zones, it worked out pretty good. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact me.